Uh, yeah, I just keep it steady on the magic. Do my thing, I'm healing, it's fantastic. If I fall, rise automatic. You ain't know now, you know. I'm the one raise myself like a tree from the roots. West side girl, cause she lit in the coast. East side girl, when she speaks to the roots. Stay 100, cause she on with the truth. Been there on struggle, know that it pass. Only going up, yeah, the pain don't last. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. Ooh, take off. This is take off, take off, take off. Shorty like Brandy, fight like Monica. What you know about her? Baby girl raising, way to the top. Shaking the world, don't expect her to stop. Purpose so great, she get what she got. Follow her step, cause she following God. What you need more, got a heart full of gold. Even at times when it's raining and cold. Ooh, she bout take off. Ooh, she bout.
What up, what up, what up, everybody? It's your girl Hannah, aka Ruta. Today is Black Woman Wednesday on the Uprooted Network, and today is going to be kind of a hard episode. So, I just want to do a trigger warning out there for folks. If you're watching today, I am doing a special tribute episode to the lost ones that I have loved to domestic violence. It is not an easy topic for me to do, but it's a necessary one, and I have been, I think, avoiding this all month, even though I put it on my calendar myself. So today I want to stop theorizing, stop just talking statistics, all of those good things. Today I want to talk about what it actually feels like to um, be a witness to domestic violence, to experience it yourself in various forms, and to lose loved ones to it. It's so difficult, and October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and it does not get nearly the amount of coverage it should. And especially when we think about how it affects Black women. And so, as difficult as this is for me, I want to make sure that um, I'm honoring the legacies of those who are no longer here. And I want to make sure that I'm giving out this knowledge and wisdom to others so that maybe I can save somebody's life. So, yes, heavy topic today. Definitely heavy topic. I see I have a comment. Can I get some advice? You can throw the question in. I'll try to get to it. But for now, I'm going to just go into a testimony, and this is how I want to honor them. I got tissues ready, so y'all know I'm a crier. Make sure you have your tissues too, because I have been accused of making people cry before. Happy tears, I hope. But yes, so um, let's talk about what domestic violence feels like and how it's impacted me personally, like what it's felt like to experience this pain. Whew, it's starting already. I feel it shaky. Um, whew, this is going to be a hard episode, so I hope y'all bear with me. It's not an easy conversation, and again, please look after yourself afterwards. Do some self care and some reflection. And if I do trigger you in some way because this is a hard topic to discuss, please feel free to DM me and I will try to make some space to have a conversation. I don't want to leave people hanging, but also I have on the screen the hotline number. So please feel free to share that widely with folks um, that you think may need it. So, yes, this is difficult. Um, Okay, I see a comment. It says, my ex abuser really hurt me. Is PTSD normal? Also, are most abusers narcissists? So I'm not an expert. I can't say for certain the last part about this, but um, is PTSD normal? Yes. The amount of trauma that we have gone through as a people in this world Yes, PTSD is normal. Most people have some form of it. There's a specific kind that we talk about for Black people in America, which has been deemed post traumatic slavery disorder or syndrome. And just that speaking to the genetic you know, trauma that gets passed down. So it is really, really difficult for some of us to even know it because we're born with it. We're born into that chaos where like it seems normal to us for so long until we see that it doesn't have to be that way. We have other options. And are all abusers narcissists? I don't know what the percentages are on there, but I know that it's a popular statement that's made. So and I know that they certainly fit the bill in terms of what type of people would become abusers. But at the same time, we got to think about what caused these people to become narcissists in the first place. Like, we have a culture that is ingrained with this individualism, this idea that you got to be the best X, Y, and Z, and it's very toxic. So, um, today I want to honor two people. I want to share what um with with respect to their privacy and to my family's privacy. I'm going to share the story, not the names, and it's it's really hard, so just bear with me. The first person that I lost at a young age was my aunt. It I think I don't even know, maybe my second or third year in undergrad, but we lost her way before then because what they don't talk about is how domestic violence creeps up very slowly. You don't just start at an extreme um like amount of violence all at once, right? Like it's I had an episode earlier this month with Dr. Tamika, and we are just talking about the social grooming and all those different aspects to it. So, what it felt like for me was just confusion. My aunt and my cousin, actually, they both share this, were extremely lively. Just like bundles of energy and feisty as hell. Oh my god, they were stubborn. Um and as much as I have that in me too, it drove me crazy because you kind of just know that those people like they don't watch out for the flames, so they always get burned. Um and the irony in that is I actually got a steam burn this week, so maybe they were trying to speak to me. Because sometimes with domestic violence, you don't see the pain right away. You don't see that it's hurting you or it's burning you because the steam is like something you don't always pay attention to. But if you've ever had a steam burn, you know that it is not fun at all. Um, but it takes a few days for the scar to show up. And in the same way, with um, these stories that I'm talking about, it took some time before I could actually piece this together as to like what happened. Um, so for my aunt, people like to glorify this whole being an immigrant, being a diaspora, coming to this whole new country, and it's the land of opportunity and XYZ and yada yada yada. It's just a bunch of bullshit, honestly, is how I feel about it now. Um, and she, you know, was just that vibrant spirit, and she was young and she wanted to live her life. Like, I get it. Like, we were in Sudan and I was only a baby, so I don't remember, but they had to survive like brutal shit back in Tigray. Like they had to survive different famines and regimes of people wanting to kill them just because of their ethnicity and just ridiculousness. And then they come to a country where people want to kill you because of your race. Like it's exhausting, and you're supposed to be grateful because you're in this place, but really, man, that just gaslights you to all the pain that's around. And we moved to Oakland in the 90s, in 93 to be exact. I was only one and some change. Um, and it just, it kind of just slowly crept up. I don't really know all the details still to this day, and I think it's really painful for everyone to really talk about or acknowledge, um, at least in the family. But as a community, I got older and realized everybody knew what was going on. They just never told us. And we have this culture of not talking about the scary things or the bad things that hurt us and feeling like if we don't talk about it, then it can't get to us and it can't influence us. And parents will keep their kids away from you because they heard, oh, your so and so went down the wrong path, and that's the same story here. And I just remember having this beautiful, vibrant person that I absolutely loved and adored in my life, who was just like a big sister to me. And I just remember her always coming around, and being that cool person that I looked up to and I wanted to be like so bad. And then slowly those visits became less frequent. Um, and nobody would really explain why. She was never around. Um, and so I just knew I missed her and I didn't know what was going on. And she dealt with, I'm sure, addiction of some sort. Life in Oakland can break you down. It can break you down pretty ugly. Um, and there was people who knew she was down, and I think everyone did, but no one really said anything about it. And for a long time, I held a lot of resentment for the community because of that. My family, everybody. Um, and I just remember always wanting to study and try to understand why people suffer. I think that's really what drove me. And learning about what domestic abuse was and domestic violence was, I was like, oh, that's what that is. Um, oh, this is what's driving people to certain outcomes. And when you have a culture that doesn't speak about the violence or the pain or the ways people try to cope because in unhealthy ways, because no one talks about shit. Um, it's very easy to see how your escapism of I'm gonna just have a beer, I'm gonna just have this, whatever, turns into um, the way you manage all the pain in your life. And when you stuff that all down, when you get on those drugs, when you start drinking, and when you lose control of your sensibilities, all that anger and frustration and trauma come out. What I do know is most abusers were abused. And so we know that hurt people hurt people. It just takes somebody strong to want to break the cycle. And for her and for how it hurt me, again, nobody ever talked about it. Nobody still does, honestly. Um, it was really sad the day that we found out. I was actually back home in Tigray, and I kind of instinctively woke up and I felt like something was off, and I went out to the living room and I could hear my dad and I could see everybody surrounding him, and they had like the gabis, and I just instinctively, without hesitation, I said, it's her, isn't it? And they just said, yeah, it's her. And I said, what happened? And again, trigger warning. Um, they said somebody had shot her. And that's not what I thought they were going to say. Um, and then I found out it was her boyfriend. Um, so you could understand how that fucked me up for years. Um, Not wanting to be in a relationship or trusting a relationship, because how could I when the person that you're supposed to feel safe with is the one that took your life? And now, because I've studied and learned these things, I know that Black women are twice as likely to die from intimate partner violence than any other race. And that's terrifying. And it was just story after story of women being abused in some way, shape, or form, and then turning around and also becoming abusers and making their relationships so violent because they've been hurt so bad, and no one really talking about it and healing from it. Um, and so that took me a long time to be able to show up in relationships and feel safe in intimacy after that. Um, some days I'm still learning, but at least I'm aware. And my other beautiful cousin, I thought that I knew better now. I couldn't save my aunt, but I learned all the warning signs. I'd seen some people through it. I've talked some people through it, and I couldn't. And it's just like people have to choose the path that they're going to be on. And the one thing I did learn about the situation is that she never had the space. She never did. She never had the space to fully be herself and be accepted and loved. Um, and again, I blame the community for that for so long. But if I'm being honest, I have to blame myself too, because I don't have to subscribe to the things that I don't find healthy. And I bought into it unintentionally. Sometimes we don't even see the subtle ways that we reenact the very things that we don't like. And I got a knock on the door one day. And that whole day, I was so sick, so sick. And I remember like I had finally gotten over it enough to get up and pick my cousin up from school. And then my other cousin came downstairs and was like, "Hey, there's police at the door. I don't know about you guys, but that's never something I want to hear, ever." Uh, Woo, because it's rarely a good thing when they come knocking on your door, right? So I go upstairs and I'm confused because they say they're looking for my aunt, but I was like, she's not here. Like, again, salt in the wound. I said, the person that you're looking for passed away years ago. Um, so I'm confused as to what you would need. So I looked down at her like pad or clipboard or whatever, and on the sticky note it had my cousin's name on it. And I was like, why? I said, why is her name there? I was like, please don't tell me. Please don't tell me. And I said, are you looking for her? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, that's my cousin. And they're like, is there any other like next of kin, like if your aunt or your uncle? And I was like, my uncle's at work. Um, but I was over 18, so um, they were able to tell me because they needed to tell somebody in the family. Um, and I just remember her telling me to maybe take a seat and could we step in? And I was like, for what? Ooh, I have not told this story before, so bear with me, guys. And I just knew, but it's like my brain did not want to process what I knew she was gonna say. So we sat down, and she said, um, "Your cousin passed away." And I said, "What are you talking about? I just seen her." And I was like, "What happened?" And they said, "We don't have all the details. We're ruling this a homicide." And this one, you would think because I'd already been through this once that it wouldn't be so difficult, but the first time, I think I have made peace with the fact that, I'd said bye to my aunt a long time ago, and I knew something bad was going to happen. But in this instance, I was not prepared at all, nor had I ever had the responsibility of sharing bad news with somebody. And so I instantly was just like, "What do you mean? What happened?" Because I knew this was gonna devastate our family. Uh, ooh, it took me a while to realize it was devastating me too. So, a lot of things after that were kind of a blur. Um, I went into straight panic mode and I just called my friends. Um, and I called the family. I accidentally scared them because they thought it was one of our other cousins. Um, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot, and I just kept telling people, maybe you should sit down, because I was just trying to mimic what the lady had done for me, and they were like, "What the fuck is going on? Just tell us." And so one by one, I had to keep breaking people's heart all day long, while mine was too, and they couldn't say at the time. They just gave us some details, and it was so horrifying what had happened. And I think because by this point in my life, I had done enough healing, I could finally actually feel the pain in real time. Whereas I didn't really fully grieve my aunt until maybe last week. Uh, there's been times where I let myself cry, but that one had been buried for so long, it took longer to come back up. But for this one, it was just fresh in my face. It came out of left field. I had no idea that later on they told us the suspect was her boyfriend, a boyfriend again that we did not know about. So, here I am having done all this healing work to try to let love back into my life, to trust intimacy, to trust that all these things can exist and that not all love is violent, just to continue to see these type of examples in my life and to experience this pain. And the legacy that I'm sure they would have wanted me to have was to live my life beautifully. Whew. Um, okay. Okay. Um, I'm gonna get to that point. Ooh, there it goes. Where my voice is trash. So I feel like I'm getting to a point where I should go ahead and stop the sharing for myself. Um, that was then, and the pain and the tears that y'all see now is just to show y'all that it never really goes away. You just learn how to live with it and to draw strength from it. And for me, it's in deciding to share this. Um, I just feel like we don't talk about what it feels like to survive that and how to get your life back from that. And to choose love still, and to let love in still, and to choose to be kind um, when the world has showed you over and over again that it's not kind to you, and that people choose all the time to not be kind to people that look like you or that talk like you, or that there's so much people and so much pain that they take it out on the people that are closest to them and that they should be loving. And to find a way through all of that to have forgiveness and joy and light, because that's how I want to remember them. Not by how they were taken, but how they chose to live their life. And they chose to love, and they chose to be bright and to share. And they fought through all of their pain. And I miss them dearly. And it hurts a lot all the time. But the one thing they used to always want for me and believe for me was that I was going to be successful in my business. And whew, they always would just say about how I would be a good mom. And at least I know what to not look for in a relationship and what love should feel like, because I've had better examples of them. And for as much pain as this is, I know that they would have still chosen love for themselves and that they would have kept fighting for it if they had the opportunity. And because I do have the opportunity, and because I have examples of what it looks like to be in healthy love and to have healthy intimacy, I know it's possible for us to change this and for people to not have stories like I have and not have the pain that I have and that my family has. Um, and that if you're in this type of pain, you don't deserve it and you should be able to walk away from it. So, again, I have the number up for the domestic violence hotline. Please choose yourselves. Um, keep fighting to be a kind person and keep sharing your truth and your testimony, because you don't know who it's going to help and who's going to be able to get their life back because of you sharing. So I just want to say that to y'all. Thank you for listening and for caring and for looking for your healing and choosing yourself, because that's what I feel like you did if you watched this episode today. Um, Whew. Yeah, that was a doozy. So I'm going to end this here. Um, I will be on Clubhouse tomorrow to end our conversation on more things that we can look at in terms of changing our culture or having self awareness so that we don't continue to recreate these cycles. Um, and on Friday, still a genocide out here. We're going to be talking about the upcoming protest in DC next week. Um, I am going to go to a beautiful celebration of love, and I know that's going to heal a lot of the pain that I'm feeling right now. And I'm going to hop on another flight to be in DC with my people to commemorate this 1 year of genocide because I'm not going to miss any more opportunities to celebrate life and to hug on the people that I love. So, y'all, thank you for riding with your girl. This is going to be the last episode for a while. I'm taking a break for November. So if you are not caught up, please take this opportunity to get caught up, subscribe, like, and share. The shows will be taking a little break, so we'll just be dropping different types of projects and other things. Keep your eyes out for those. Make sure you turn on your notifications. And yeah, I love y'all. Peace and light to you guys. I appreciate everybody for being part of this uprooted community. And I will see y'all tomorrow on Clubhouse or Friday on IG Live.